June 14th, 2013, one of the greatest games and stories of all time came out. This game got an instant critical acclaim. With a new popular show that just came out on HBO Max recently, I thought this would be a perfect time to talk about a video game that I love so much, that being The Last of Us. First, let's talk about the show. Now, the show did an amazing job, and frankly, if you think otherwise, I think you're just trying to find something to hate. Like, it literally was the second biggest opening day for a TV show in over a decade on HBO Max. Only second to House of Dragons. The source material is amazing, and they did an amazing job staying true to the game so far. Say what you want about the casting, but personally, I don't really see a problem. Now, I think the show is going to be amazing down the road and cannot wait until every Sunday at 9 p.m. to watch it unfold. On release, The Last of Us became one of the biggest video game launches of 2013, selling over 1.3 million units in its first week and 3.4 million copies worldwide in just 3 weeks, thus making it the fastest selling PS3 game of 2013. This title received largely positive reviews from critics who praised the writing, atmosphere, art direction, and character development, among other things. I first played this game about a week before The Last of Us 2 came out. I was hearing all of the hype for it coming out and wanted to give the first game a try because I never played it. I knew my brother had it, so he let me borrow it and play it. I didn't really know what I was getting into at all. All I really knew was it was a popular zombie game that was released on the PS3 and then got soon remastered for the PS4. But as soon as I got past that prologue, I immediately understood why people praise this game so much. I literally beat this game in 2 sittings and almost did it in 1. Everything about this game is perfect. Gameplay, world building, plot, characters, and especially the music. But the great thing about this game to me was all of those, plus it's about a post-apocalyptic world with zombies everywhere. Now, one of my favorite genres is the post-apocalyptic genre, media like The Hunger Games, The Maze Runner, The Walking Dead, Horizon Zero Dawn, and now The Last of Us are all very interesting to me. And that's what exactly this game is. At the start of the game, it is set in 2003 when the outbreak first happens, but then we fast forward 20 years into the future where the surviving humans have grouped up to live in small rundown communities run by the local government, which is pretty much a militia called the Fireflies. And in these communities, we meet the fan favorite character Ellie. Now, this is where I want to start talking about the story. So if you don't know or you don't want to know what happens, I suggest you go play this game. Trust me, it's amazing. But it is set in a post-apocalyptic United States where the game tells the story of the survivors Joel and Ellie, which are the main characters. They work together to survive their westward journey across what remains of the country to find a possible cure for the modern fungal plague that has nearly decimated the entire human race and turned everyone into a form of zombies. Now, I know the plot is simple, but it is very, very effective and one of the best storylines I've ever experienced. At the start of the game, we experience Joel seeing his daughter Sarah die by a soldier at the start of the outbreak. And then we fast forward 20 years and Joel and Ellie meet each other, and at first they are complete strangers who don't really like each other. But over time, with all of the struggles and hardships and encounters with the infected but also humans, over the course of this game their relationship eventually blooms into a father and daughter type of relationship. Ellie becomes a daughter to Joel even though they aren't related, but Ellie fills that hole in Joel's heart that was left there 20 years ago when Sarah dies. And Ellie finally has a father figure in her life because she never really grew up with her parents. Rather, she grew up in an oppressive military quarantine zone in Boston, Massachusetts with little knowledge of the world before infection. Before she died, Ellie's mother, Anna, asked Marlene to watch over Ellie. The storytelling and writing is the best thing about this perfect game. Out of all the games I've ever played, this game easily has the best storytelling and story. Neil Druckmann is an amazing storyteller because not only did he make this game, but he also was the writer behind one of my favorite Naughty Dog games, being Uncharted 4. This game is a masterclass of storytelling, and definitely was like unlike anything the industry had seen before. A game that elevated storytelling and presentation to incredible heights. Most definitely was a stepping stone for games that came out after it. Now, I'm not going to talk about and go and dive super deep into how this game has amazing storytelling. Instead, I recommend you watch these videos that explain more and better than what I ever could. But that storyline is not the only amazing thing about this game. The atmosphere and the gameplay of this game is also amazing. The world is gray and beat up, just like how you'd expect it to be. The world is in ruin, and Naughty Dog did an amazing job showing you that. Even though the game is linear for most of it, you are still able to explore the world somewhat. While you explore abandoned streets, towns, buildings, you will encounter infected and humans, but you will also find many items like water, bandages, bolts, etc., which all let you craft different items like bombs and shanks, and even can upgrade your weapons that you will find and take off the other human survivors that you kill. And in total, there are 17 weapons that you can use, ranging from your hands to flamethrowers. But you will also find bricks and bottles that you can distract your enemies so you can sneak past them. A big part of this game is stealth. Stealth is crucial. Crouching behind objects and navigating through environments quietly will help you get the drop on an enemy. Yes, you can go guns blazing, but you can't always do that because you don't have unlimited ammo like Call of Duty games. Remember, this game is set in a post-apocalyptic world, so supplies are limited. You can find ammo randomly, but if you play on harder difficulties, you will find less and less supplies to make the game even harder. But one of the cool things about this game is that the developers really wanted to make Ellie useful as an AI to assist the player rather than burden them whenever they're trying to fight enemies. And that kind of ensures the bond of the story that is created between Joel and Ellie. Now, the reason I really like this is because Ellie will actually help you. It's crazy because some games like Call of Duty and others still have their games being where the soldiers in those games in the campaign don't really help you at all, and you have to do a lot of the work. This game is very emotional right from the start with the death of Sarah, and the emotion in this game is a part of the reason I think the story is so well. All of the cutscenes are basically acted and makes you feel for the characters in the game, and acting is one of the things that I haven't talked about yet, but both the motion cap and the voice of the actors is just perfect.
Stupid.
Well, I guess we're both disappointed with each other then.
But to go back to talking about Ellie and Joel, they were complete strangers, but by the time we got to Winter in the game, Joel is sick and not doing too well, and Ellie is very worried about him, and she goes around looking for medicine. Ultimately, she gets in a lot of trouble, and guess who comes to the rescue? Joel. Their relationship changes all the way to the end of the game. Ellie and Joel finally end their cross-country journey and make it to the Firefly Hospital, where they are attempting to make a cure, and they are able to, but the problem is that to do that, they will have to kill Ellie. Joel can't have this happen. Ellie is essentially his kid now. He loves her and can't live without her. But Marlene and the Fireflies try to stop Joel, but Joel eventually arrives at the surgery room and kills the doctor, because, you know, that's not going to lead to anything in the future, right? And then he takes off with Ellie and then drives off. In my opinion, it's a perfect ending to a beautiful game. Now here in 2023, I have played The Last of Us 1, Left Behind, which is the DLC for the game, The Last of Us 2, and now I have watched the first episode of the HBO show starring Pedro Pascal, The Mandalorian. Like I said at the start of the video, I was inspired to make this video because of the show and the show coming out, and after creating this script and editing this video, I am now wanting to go back and play this masterpiece of a game and experience one more. Every single thing about this game is just perfect and is one of my favorite games of all time. And I think that's going to be the end of the video, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.